become, that doesn't mean they're happy. So we're going to get into that, all right? So let me shout out everybody that's here. What's going on, True ATL in Northside, Ranger, Elbert, Kahim, Medley was good, Vern 85, what is it, Artsy, Felicia was good, TSK, C-Mac, Renee, Janie was good. Let's see, Vern, appreciate you seen the interview, Vern, appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to Solo. Ill Wills was good, Gogeta, David, Watts, let's see, Anime JD, Deshard, let's see, Patricia, Darte, Jordy, Mr. Anime Tales. First off, Mr. Anime, don't come to my channel telling me what to do, okay? Speaking on him might demonetize the video automatically. So don't come to my channel telling me what the fuck to do. Go tell everybody else what to do on their channel, bro. I'm not... Listen, if I was doing this for the views, I would have done a video instead of a live stream. So don't come in here trying to start shit with me, bro. I don't know you. I've done videos on people passing before. I don't do them a lot, every now and then. But I don't do them a lot. I don't even do I don't do videos or live streams on people passing, period. People ask me to do these videos. You showing disrespect to me by telling me what to do on my channel, sir. But shout out to everybody that's here, man. There's always going to be one idiot in the bunch that's going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Okay? What's going on, J.S. Allen? We're going to talk about him, and we also going to talk about what's going on with a lot of millennial men today, because a lot of times in these situations, we still don't know the whole story. We still don't know the whole story. But I want people to understand something. I didn't know him. I didn't see his content before, but I did see a video of him being arrested. I think it was like a month ago, and people were already talking about, him dealing with mental illness then. So what has happened recently just shows that maybe was the case. But he's not alone. Let's go live original. He's not alone. Okay? There are other guys dealing with this as well. There are other guys out there who are dealing with this and they have nobody to really talk to, or they don't want to talk about it. And I've spoken about this a lot since I've been on YouTube about depression. It's going on severe. I've talked about men who are dealing with anxiety socially. They're basically keeping to themselves. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to read this article. All right. But I'm just letting everyone know here. I'm not a watcher of his content. Okay? But I'm speaking on this because I feel like what he went through, there's a lot of men right now going through it. Okay? Let's see. This is according to Kotaku. Kotaku. Popular YouTuber Etika dies at 29. Today, police confirmed the death of Desmond Etika Amofa, a well-known gaming YouTuber, after discovering him in Manhattan's East River yesterday evening. His body was found 2 days after police recovered his belongings on the Manhattan Bridge. Last week, he had published a video that appeared like a suicide note. I saw a little bit of that video. It was very eerie. Very eerie. It just shows you, man, because in the video, he wasn't angry. He wasn't upset. He was just very balanced. And that's what's crazy about it. You know, it was very balanced. No emotion, really. But he just, I'm telling you, you just never know. You know, some people, you can have a whole conversation with them, and then next thing you know, you find out that they are deeply depressed. You know. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. He began creating videos on YouTube in 2012. Over the course of 7 years, amassed a following of over 800,000 dedicated fans across YouTube and Twitch. He referred to them as Joy-Con boys after Nintendo Switch controllers, playing and commentating on Nintendo games for his fans. He loved with electricity and personality. He's loved with electricity and personality. Etika's charisma, candor, and can't say this word. Ingenuity. God damn it, ingenuity. Okay, I've said this word 1,000 times. Anyway, as a content creator, launched him into the basically the stardom on YouTube. He began to publicly struggle with mental health last October when he self-destructed his YouTube channel, and on Reddit made references to suicidal thoughts. Basically, in April, police detained him after he threatened suicide in his apartment. They told Kotaku, citing his psych history, the incident resulted in his admission into a hospital in May. He had an altercation with a security guard or police officer that led to another hospital visit. Last week, he published a video which YouTube took down, apparently saying goodbye to fans. That's the video that I was thinking about playing, but then I said, no, I'm not going to play it because they're taking the video down. And any video that anybody who's playing the video is probably getting their video taken down. It was a fun life, he said. I had a great time. It was great. But for it to be cut so short, it's fucked. Friends and family have been unable to contact them since before the video was posted. Reached over the phone today, an NYPD representative offered his comment at approximately 18 hours. Yesterday, police responded to a 911 call with a person floating in the water in the vicinity of the South Street Seaport in the confines of the 1st Precinct. Upon arrival, God, I can't read shit today. Upon arrival, officers discovered an unresponsive, unidentified male at the location. The NYPD Harbor removed the male to Pier 16, where EMS pronounced him deceased. The medical examiner will determine the cause of death, and investigation is ongoing. I can't read shit today. I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's late. God damn it. But I honestly, again, I've spoken about this. Y'all know I have. I think I did recently. I did a live stream and I talked about how mentally ill some of these guys were who always are trolling. They're always trying to get your attention. And those people used to be fans. And it's almost like you hurt them. What's going on, Face of Pureness? It's almost like you hurt them. And because of what's going on outside of social media, they bring that pain onto social media and they use it to try to hurt other people. And I spoke about how those people are mentally ill. They're mentally ill. And for the most part, I hope people understand that social media is not a place to look to a safe space. That's why you see so many people getting censored on platforms, because you have a lot of mentally ill people looking for safe spaces, and they will report you, flag you, try to get you removed because you say things that they don't like. You burst their bubble. You burst their bubble. You know? And that's one of the things I wanted to shed light on, because I know for me, growing up, you had to deal with things head on. And you also had to grow up tough. You couldn't really speak about your feelings and emotions because you didn't want to be seen as weak. Now, me and Etika are basically the same age, even though he's a year younger than me. He was born 1990. I was born 1989. Okay? I was born 1989. But we basically lived in the same generation. And the 90s, the early 2000s, up until now, you know, he's probably been around people who will tell them not to show your emotions. You know, be a man. You know, don't speak on things that bother you. You know, tough it out. And maybe that's what he tried to do. You know, video gaming was his outlet. And when that's not enough, then what? You know? Do you go see a psychiatrist? Do you speak to family? Like, what do you do? And that's why it's very important for people to get help. Social media is not going to help you, you know, because I see the comments that people leave in comment sections, not just my own, you know, other comment section as well. In chat rooms, I see how crazy people, the crazy shit that people say, you know. I've had mentally ill people call my show and act like complete buffoons. I can tell they're mentally ill. They don't know how to get it out. They don't know how to speak to somebody that could actually help them. They're sort of stuck in, I'm trying to be a man. I'm trying not to show emotion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act very ignorant to the people around me. I'm going to get on social media and try to be a completely different person. But what if that don't work, though? What if that don't work? Then what? Then that person is left feeling more empty than they ever have before, you know? That, you know, it's, you have to be able to speak to somebody. You have to be that person that you can tell your deepest, darkest thoughts to. Because if you let that stuff stay in you, it's going to eat you alive slowly. It's gonna make you feel like no matter what you accomplish, no matter how many people support you, y'all got to understand this. Even if you have a big fan base, a lot of people that care about you, okay, you still don't know those people. Those people only know you from social media. You know, they only know you from social media. So because they only know you from social media, you don't really know them. They're just people on a computer screen. So even though they say they support you and care about you, still you don't really know that person personally. They're just fans of what you do. And maybe they really like you as a person from what you're saying, but still you got guys who may feel like, well, that's, you know, they just support what I do. They don't necessarily care about me, you know? So we really have to look at what's going on these days. That's why I think that people should not want to take their lives, but we don't know what goes on in people's minds. You know, some people feel like they have no hope. They're at the end of their rope. You know, that's why you can't take what goes on social media seriously. I see people flip out just for what is said on social media. Just from certain comments on social media, it drives them crazy. And it's like, why are you letting what people say on social media upset you? It's because they already had problems before they even got on social media. That's why you got a lot of these crazed psycho feminists and SJWs constantly attacking people. Because they're mentally ill. They're looking for a safe space, an echo chamber. They're looking for people to agree with them. They're deeply hurt. Shout out to Real Virtue. Said, Jay, all these black churches need to be torn down and turned into mental health centers. Religion never help black people. Well, you do have a lot of churches that all they do is make money for the pastors. I mean, of course, they could definitely be mental health facilities. They're big enough to house that, you know. and they don't really do much for the community at all. But there are people who are still going to support it. So they're going to still support that church. They're going to, pay for that pastor to be able to administer to them. That's all they want. They're not looking to have any type of fixing. They just want to band-aid everything. They don't want to fix anything. But again, to all of Etika's fans who may know him more than I do, I'm speaking on this not only because this story is very sad. This guy's close to my age, but also because this ties into a lot of things I've spoken about. I've spoken about depression. I've spoken about men, especially millennial men, who are going through it. Me and this guy, very close in age, 29, not even reached his 30th birthday, and he's gone. Big fan base. All these people say that they care about him and they support him. But a lot of times that's just not enough. That's just not enough. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Sometimes we need people personally in our lives, sometimes, a lot of times you need real people in your corner, man, because it's just like with a lot of celebrities. A lot of celebrities don't have real people around them. They got a lot of fake people around them, but they don't have a lot of real people around them. And you can tell by the amount of stuff that they do, and no one in their circle reins them in. I think it's because the people around them know that person is unhinged. That person is unstable. And they want to continue to leech off of that person so they don't say nothing to them. So even when it comes to guys who are in the public eye, they need real people around them, because what happens is they start to slowly go crazy. We've seen a lot of celebrities out here, go insane slowly go insane, because they don't have real people around them. Mental illness is spreading. And it's not spreading to the older, it's spreading to the younger ones. Because you do have a generation of young men who are growing up who didn't have a father in their life. They had a mother who did a very poor job raising them. You had a lot of men now who are in their 20s and early 30s who basically raised themselves. They got jobs when they were teenagers. They had to live with other people. They never known stability. Never had a father figure in their life. So they have to raise themselves. That takes a heavy toll on you mentally, especially if you did not have parents there who cared about you. When you don't have people that you can call and rely on, that you can talk to, you need people that you can vent to, that you can talk to. You don't want to just have things bottled up on the inside. You want to be able to vent to somebody. Everybody wants that person they can vent to. And a lot of dudes, especially a lot of millennial men, they don't really have that, because a lot of them don't trust anybody. And I can't say I blame them. If you look at how these guys were raised, it's a miracle they got to being an adult. If you ask them about their childhood and how they were raised, and the difficulty they had in their upbringing, and how it mentally scarred them to where they don't trust anybody. They can't talk to anybody. So they just keep a lot of things that are going on with them to themselves. And that's not good, man. You need somebody you can vent to, you can talk to. Because if you don't have somebody that you can do that with, then you're just going to just bottle it up, and it's going to slowly erode you, to the point to where there's nothing left. There's absolutely nothing left. Now I know that I've made videos about men being red pilled and really truly embracing. I dropped my water bottle, but truly embracing a lifestyle of basically being to yourself. But that doesn't mean that you can't seek out, people to talk to and to speak on certain things about. Listen, hold your horses about the phone lines. I'll open up the phone lines when I'm ready to. Calm down, okay? Let me speak my piece, and then we'll get the phone lines open. Make sure you like the stream. That's what I want y'all to make sure. Ain't nothing changing here. Ain't nothing changed. I run my streams all the same way. You should call for most of the other topics too. I have some very good topics. See, when you grow up not trusting anybody, it affects you. It carries over, and it's not always good. You do need people you can talk to. At least if it's just a person that you just designate as they're just my ear. Somebody that I can just go and talk to. That doesn't mean you have a personal friendship with the person. It just means that they're that person you can go and talk to and bounce, thoughts off of. But again, when you grew up a certain way and you build up a non-trust for people, then you have all this pain, insecurities. You've been depressed. You can, in a myriad of ways, a lot of these guys feel like there's only one way out. And that's not true. That's not true. But mental illness is affecting the young at a rapid rate. You got teenagers taking their lives on Facebook Live. I did a video almost 2 years ago about a couple, a young black couple. Can't be no more than 20 years old. Both of them, I believe, were in college. The girl, I believe, took her life. And then the boyfriend made a video on Facebook Live. And right after that, he took his life. And they were barely 20 years old. Barely 20 years old. I still wish I had that video up. The video, I think I may still have it on YouTube, private, but I do have it on my website, even though my website has some issues. This couple, barely 20 years old, they look happy together, took their lives. The boyfriend went on Facebook Live to say goodbye to family and friends. He's crying on the video. I think it was because she took her life, right? And he felt everybody blamed him. So he thought that it was only one way out for him, and that was to take his life. Barely 20 years old. Depression and it's affecting the young more and more. Everybody say, remember that. That was the saddest thing I ever seen when he made that video. Because both of them had a lot going on. I think they dealt with a lot growing up. And I think they never got over it. And they found comfort in each other, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. These young men and women really had nobody growing up. So when they become adults, that pain grows because they were never able to get the right help for it. And I'm not talking about medication. I'm talking about real people being able to talk, you can talk to, and you can really speak your heart and mind to. You got, kids. You got, kids, basically toddlers taking their life due to bullying at school. Kids that young, well, not toddlers. I would say, just kids, 8, 9-year-olds taking their lives. Kids that young should never know how to take their life. They shouldn't even that shouldn't even come to mind. But that lets me know that they don't have no type of protection in their life. They don't feel like their parents are protecting them. They feel like they're always hated and targeted. They have nobody to turn to. And the only thing they can think about is taking their life. There's a lot of depressed people out here. There's a lot of people out here who they don't care about anything. You got like a lot of these radical people on social media. A lot of those people are mentally ill. A lot of those people are mentally ill. And you would think that because of all the innovations that we have, all the technology that we have, all the means of medication, you would think that people will be better, but they're worse. Look at how hard the media attacks certain people who don't fit their narrative. Look how they act. That lets you know that they want people to either accept a certain way of life or to be pushed aside, And I really hope people look at what has happened in this situation and really look at their lives. Look at the people around them, the people that the people that you come across that you can just feel their energy. The energy is a certain way. And really get to understanding that something is wrong. There's nothing wrong with asking questions and nothing wrong with, just asking if somebody is all right. I mean, none of us are perfect. We have our own issues and insecurities, but that doesn't mean that we can't try to help other people around us. I'm going to take a few phone calls. I don't want this stream to be long because I want this to basically be an extended video. I don't want this to be 2 hours or hour and a half. I want this to be something that people can listen to from start to finish. All right? So y'all go ahead and call in. Keep the phone lines brief, people. Keep it brief. Other people may want to speak too. Okay? Like the stream. If y'all look no further than what's going on YouTube. All right, you live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Hey Jay, now look, I'm not calling as a fan or anything, but I knew that this was coming since March 1st.
Okay.
Because he did. I'm sorry.
I said okay.
Because he literally did a stunt like last month where he had the whole city of Brooklyn shut down.
Wow.
But this is just sad because, like, I feel for his mom. Like, his mom is just hurting out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people around him and in his family are hurting because they probably didn't have a clue.
Yeah. But he pushed everybody away from what I can tell. Like, even his ex-girlfriend, like, they had broken up, like, 2 or 3 years ago. Like, and, like, she was in his corner trying to help him, but he just pushed everybody away.
Wow. Well, that's the first sign something is wrong.
Yeah. No, it's not, and it will never be the last time either, but like, everybody is saying rest in peace, but we all know where he is, though.
Well,
yeah.
I will say it is sad, man, because, again, he's 29, man. 29.
Yeah. He is, like, Like, and it goes to show too that money, fame, women cannot buy happiness.
No, it can't.
Because he had all of it,
Mm-hmm.
but like he always had like demons or something around him.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
All right, well.
You're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Yeah, I see this. Like, I actually, when this story first broke out, I had stayed up late because they talked about how he went missing, and I was like, oh man, it just sounds like a bad situation. And you know, they talked about how they found the body, so I stayed up late and trying to see if they confirmed, and I kind of knew it had happened, and I just was like, damn, like, but. Speaking on the whole suicidal situation, I've been there before. You know, I think as black males, we really get the short end of the stick when it comes to a lot of stuff. You know, like, and I'm not even trying to be on some self-loathing or, you know, it's just like people don't really understand black males in this society, and you know, we get hit with the brunt of the toxic masculinity thing. Right next to white men, too. You know, they unload on white men just as bad as they do with us. And
I just want to say something. Last caller, he had made a statement about we all know where he is. Listen, I don't know if he was talking about. Listen, at the end of the day, that was that caller's opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it, but again, I'm gonna let y'all speak y'all piece. But I think, listen, I don't care where he goes. I just care about the fact that he's not here anymore. Okay, so I just want to make that clear.
Right. Yeah. I don't know where people go. You know, when they do that type of thing to themselves, but and that's not even for me to speculate. But I just think I've been there. I've been at that brink of, you know, where you just pushing people away, even though you want help. You begging for help through your actions, but your body is just pushing everybody away, and I've been there. So it's just like, man, you just feel so alone sometimes. Yeah. And I realize it's the way society bears down on black men. You know, they build up black women, and that's not even me ragging on black women, because I think black women, you know, they deserve their props, but they beat down black men through anything. Like even some of the topics that you talk about with dating women outside the race, and if a black woman does it, you know, we get beat down. Like it's like we don't have no positive. It's no positive reinforcement with black men like that. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, we basically.
And I actually wanted to write a book about it, because I think that a lot of the gang violence and things of that nature, like I think that's more of a suicidal thing. It's not even so much of a gang thing. It's more of I'm willing to give my life for something that don't even matter. It's more of a suicidal thing. And it's really plaguing our community. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that. They thinking about suicide as a self-inflicted, you know, bullet or something like that. But in actuality, you could just be living recklessly, you know, sleeping with a bunch of women unprotected, having a bunch of kids unprotected, not caring about yourself, putting yourself giving yourself the utmost respect. And I think a lot of people overlook that. In our society, and I think that's a thing that black men deal with. But I mean, I just wanted to say my piece on it. Rest in peace to Etika, you know.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. All right.
Oh, no problem at all, man.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I see you trying to wipe. All right, Naima. Appreciate that. Later to you. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Yeah, I'm living. I care a lot about the living. I don't want to see people take their life. I don't. You live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like, I know a guy who committed suicide when I was in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
We lived in the same apartment.
Wow.
And the dude, right, he killed himself because him and his girlfriend broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember waking up the next day and saying, like, paramedics, I'm like, what the hell's going on over at the old boy apartment? You know what I'm saying? A girl told me that lived next to him, like, he hung himself in the bathroom.
Wow.
I'm like, what? I'm like, how the hell did this big ass even hang himself? It was like 6'7". I don't even know what the hell he hung himself on in that damn bathroom.
Hey man,
That's
so,
still bad.
you know what's crazy? Some of these guys, they plan this stuff out. Like they think it out how they're gonna do it. Like they be planning it out.
Yeah, bro. I was like, damn, he killed himself over her. Like, I knew the chick. I was like, I can't figure that out or whatever. But yeah, man, like what this dude is, like he sounds like he has like an African name.
Yeah.
Maybe it was some cultural or something where he like try to get help. Cause I know like they say he was from New York, right?
Yeah, from New York, native of New York.
Yeah, I know New York. If you just call a hospital and tell them you thinking about committing suicide, they'll send somebody. They'll set you an appointment with somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't think he did that.
Yeah, maybe it was cultural. I don't know. But like, mental illness runs in my family hard. Like on my aunt, like she has 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like a hippie back in the day.
Okay.
Like she smoked weed through like all her pregnancies on some like weed is natural. It don't hurt. It's crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And like 2 of her kids are functional. Like they keep jobs or whatever, but they still a little off. But the other 3, one of them in the mental institution now. One of them just got out. I think the other one, he in jail right now. Mm. Well, like I talked to my cousin about 2 months ago. This dude real crazy. Mm. Like he done made up some shit in his mind about it's not even the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. It's some whole other shit that's something like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
He calls them folks or whatever. He's like, you ain't one of them folks, are you? I was like, yeah. And like, my mom used to work for like Social Security or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like, she knows how to get benefits for people or whatever. Because like, he refuses medication or to go in and see people, to get a crazy check or whatever. Mm-hmm. He don't think nothing wrong with him. You know, dude can't work. Like he's unhireable.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the thing. Like that's why they be, because I know growing up I knew dudes that would get checks. Like I went to school with guys that were getting checks. Like their mother would get checks for them.
Yeah. So we had to find a backboard day because like their mom passed away a couple years ago. Now him and the older brother, they live in that humble house or whatever, and like he got benefits for him or whatever. So that's how the dude was. But yeah, man, like in most states, bro, like even here, bro, if you have a mental problem, like they got programs set up like where, because therapy and all that shit expensive, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you lower income or whatever, go ahead.
No, I was saying like lower income. I was saying like there are guys that can afford it. Some of those guys, the ones that got the money, probably need it the most, more than anybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this dude, I'm pretty sure he could afford it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people that can't, and don't think there's nothing they could do. Like, if you like on Medicaid or anything like that, or Aetna or something like that, you can get free therapy or whatever. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
Like, they had that in Louisiana. Like after my dad died or whatever, like I got to see a counselor for free twice a month.
Oh, okay. I think that's like it might be state to state or depending on your health insurance.
Yeah, I didn't have health insurance. I had Aetna. That's like whatchamacallit, like if you unemployed for like over a year, you could sign up for that. It's like free health care.
Oh, okay.
You get free prescriptions and all that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got fuck cancer for like a year, like twice a month.
Oh, okay.
And, a lot of people are not aware of that, and a lot of jobs you might have like that jobs, especially if you work for a day or say, like you can like that.
Hey, your phone is acting up a bit.
Yeah, all right, man. I appreciate your time, brother.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the call, man.
Thanks.
All right. Shout out to him for the call. What's going on, Jessica? I see you. Shout out to everybody that's here. Yeah, man, don't disrespect the callers, man. I mean, if you want to make fun of callers that are saying crazy shit, I have no problem with that. You know. Besides, he's a regular caller, man. I think that depends on your state, because we definitely ain't got that here. We got to pay for everything. You know? Unless you're getting something free from the government. Now, they do have, disability you can get. They also got certain things if you qualify for it. But pretty much everything here, health-wise, you got to pay for out of pocket or get some type of insurance. Suicide is no joke, people. There are people who've dealt with suicidal thoughts. I may have done a video recently about a guy. I don't know if I did a video or I read something recently about a guy having suicidal thoughts. Let me tell y'all something, man. Social media will mess you up big time, man. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
605, man.
What's good, Gemini?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
I'm doing great, man. Good to hear you. You've been speaking some good things
Thank
on
you, man.
a lot of different topics.
Uh-huh.
As usual.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you ain't been talking about that circus going on down there with that Democratic Party.
Man, I see.
Something.
I saw a little bit of it and I changed the channel, man. I went right and did this live stream. I'm like, man, let me turn this bullshit off. But yeah, man.
You got a bunch of tours down there all in your way and all like that. But in terms of the brother that you're speaking about, I never followed him. I never was aware of him until earlier today. And it's just a shame. I mean, that's the way how life is. And, we never know when it's our time to go. Just like I don't know you personally, I embrace you along with the other folks you may agree or disagree with, the folks that I listen to.
Right.
But that's the beauty of this whole YouTube thing, because this should be a wake-up call to a lot of people out here when you're really gunning and backing up someone. And you never know when something might happen. I remember a few years ago, I think about 2-3 years ago, it was a famous YouTuber. He was famous for going down into Brazil and telling black men to go down there or whatnot, and do the dating scene or whatever. And I checked it. I didn't know nothing about him until after he died. So my only point of saying this is to say this. Whether you agree or not, share the information with other people.
Right.
And get a broad perspective. Don't just think in the bottle of your own mind, and share that with other folks, because maybe someone can they can't make you, but you can look at it from another perspective. But I just don't. I just feel it's a bad thing. He's a younger guy. I know he's younger than I am.
Yeah.
And I thank God for every day that I'm out here.
Yeah.
Just like I know you just hit the fabulous 30s.
Yeah.
And I had a good time in my 30s. I'm only in my early 40s.
Right. I'm pretty sure you have, man.
But you talk like you've been around just as long as I've been around. And, people just need to stop trying to hold on to these loose strands and all this bull. You know, I don't want to say what I want to say because we live, but all of this stuff, this Molly Cameron, all of this junk that they putting out here, and the people, they don't even have common sense enough to hold their arm up to stop the spoon that folks is feeding them. All of this junk, man. So, but that's all I had to say. You know, I wasn't trying to get you off topic and get you messed up, but rest in peace to the brother, because whether you knew him or not, he was one of our brothers, man.
Yeah.
And whether you agreed with him or not, who's to say? Who am I to say? You or anyone else listening, that in his mind, he wasn't trying to do the right thing. So instead of going out there playing the numbers and hoping to hit on the lottery for the number, it's one thing you can bet on. You don't know when your number is going to be called. That's all I have to say about that. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gemini, for calling in. You know, I like when you call in. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to Gemini 605. Albert, here's the number here. That's the number there. You're live with Jada Black. What's up?
You know, like you kind of said that you're putting on the platform that you got. But, you know, I want to speak on the shit in your video. Honestly, bro, when it comes to, like, mental health in the black community, I kind of feel like the reason why a lot of black guys don't like to open up to people is because we just weren't taught that. And it's even worse when you come from, like, you know, like I guess when you come from the hood, because, you know, like, a lot of niggas that grew up in the hood, they're not taught to do that. They're just taught to just drink and smoke their pain away, you know? And it's kind of sad, but I feel like, you know, mental health is a little bit more, becoming a little bit more relevant in the black society today, you know, with everybody talking about it and stuff. And I feel like that's a good thing, you know. It's good to, you know, have somebody to vent to and talk to. Myself, I actually just started going to therapy last year, and, you know, it's helped me out a lot. You know, just having somebody to open up to and, you know, express your feelings to. And you know, it's just, in society, you know, man, we're just not supposed to do things like that. Like, I mean, there's been times where, you know, I've tried to have those talks with my friends, and they just look at me like I'm fucking crazy or something. And it's just like, nigga, like, what's wrong with you? Like, you acting kind of weird right now. But, you know, everybody should have somebody like that they should open up to and talk to. And you know, sometimes niggas don't even feel like doing that with that girl, because that girl may look at them kind of sideways, like, oh, why is this nigga acting like this right now? He's supposed to be, you know, we're always looked at to be, you know, masculine and tough, and we're not supposed to let anything fuck with us. And, you know, that's kind of the problem with you know, the black community. And that's why, you know, so many people are, you know, turning to drugs or, you know, even turning to suicide to, you know, deal with the pain that they have on this world.
Yeah. And that's sad, because it's affecting the younger generation more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many news stories have we seen of people taking their life just within this year alone? You know?
Exactly. And I think and honestly, I think it's because of social media too, because like you said, with the younger generation, like, you know, I'm 29 years old. So, like, I mean, I've always had the internet in my life, but I knew what life was like when internet wasn't just always there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came up in the generation where you get on the computer for a couple of hours, get off that shit, and you go on about your day. These kids these days, they grow up in social media. You know, if they're depressed or they're down, they use the likes and the attention to feed their ego. self-esteem, and that's bad because you can't use social media as a tool to uplift yourself because you're always going to feel bad. There's always going to be somebody out there that looks like they're doing better than you or is having a better life than you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the problem. We look too much at what everybody else is doing. I think that's the problem, too. We look at everybody else's life and how good it is, and we look at our life in comparison, and then we feeling worse about ourselves. I think that's going on a lot, too.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand it because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people are just posting their highlights. You know, nobody's posting up the days where they feel bad and, you know, when they're going through stuff. They're just posting up, you know, the good things in their life. And I feel like that has a lot to do with mental health, too. Like, people just need to just turn that shit off.
Right.
And just go live your life and do something that makes you feel happy. Like, stop always looking to the internet for validation. And, you know, I see it on Facebook all the time, man. You know, there's a bitch on Facebook right now that I follow. She always bitching about her baby daddies and all this other shit. And I'm just like, man, get off Facebook and go to therapy or something. Yeah. Like, I remember I made a status about that one day. I was just like, y'all motherfuckers get on here all day complaining about your problems and stuff, and y'all still got these problems, man. Just go to fucking therapy. It's better than bitching online and looking like a sad. I know a bitch like that. I know another chick like that. She always going through something all the time, always depressed, always going through something. She like tried to kill herself and she failed at it, and she was taking like selfies of herself in the motherfucking hospital and stuff. And I'm just like, how much cheaper would it be to just go to therapy? Yeah. You know?
It would be a lot. It would be a lot cheaper than what they spend on other miscellaneous shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just want to go ahead and wrap it up, man. You know, I just want to say I like your videos, like the platform you got going on. I hope you continue to get bigger, man.
Hey, cool. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the phone call, bro.
No problem.
All right. I want y'all to give me 1 minute, people. I'll be right back, but just give me 1 minute, all right? All right, people, I'm back. We had a caller call back in. I had to take a quick break real quick. All right. Go ahead and call back in. Shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure that you like the stream as you come in. We're talking about a YouTuber, Etika, that passed recently, and millennial men dealing with mental illness. But call back in, bro. Okay, here we go. All right, you live with Jada Black. What's going on?
What's up, it's Cool Gent 87, man. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Cool Gent?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm gonna say I love your videos and stuff, man.
Cool.
And this topic right here, what you're talking about, is very deep.
Okay.
Because I did like a little live stream earlier on my channel.
Okay.
Called like suffering and silence, and how in the black community it's a very taboo subject that we don't really discuss. You know, with the depression and people commit suicide. You know, fake happiness. And it's just something that really needs to be talked about, man.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah, it just, man. I said it's just time because I've been hearing about like people taking their own lives for like a week now, man. Like the most out of all of it, you know. Even like a person, you know, rest in peace to him, that was in my I graduated with, you know, he took his own life because of, you know, depression and stuff, man. And I'm like, man, someone has to talk about this because this has gone like way too far. You know, we have to be there. You know, people like us with the voice, you know, we have to be there and let that person know that, hey, you know, I'm here to talk to you, you know, what you're going through, because I've been through it before.
Yeah, we do need that type of person in our life, you know. My grandmother was that person for me. Even though she passed a couple years ago, I could always vent to her and she would listen. I could trust her. I can, you know, she was that person. I mean, we all need that, you know, at this certain time, especially when you're going through a stressful time. When I was going through my most stressful times, I had somebody I could talk to. Other people don't, you know, and they turn on themselves, you know. Either they sabotage their relationships, they sabotage their friendships, they getting into it with family because they don't have nobody to turn to that they trust, you know.
Right, because you know what, all this social media and stuff, man, online, you know, I think that really can destroy a person as well too. You know, like I said, not really having nobody to talk to, you know, in person. You know, to hear your voice. You know, that's why I see certain people do like certain videos and stuff like they say I'm gonna do this or that and stuff, and most people, you know, laugh at it, which they shouldn't, and don't take it into consideration, saying like, hey, you know, this person is going through something. No, let me holler at them.
Yeah, because we do need that. Even as men, you know, we're taught to not show emotion and to tough everything out. We still need people who have our back that we can talk to. You know, I just don't. I just think that we have in our heads, you know, be men, don't show weakness, you know. But it's like when you got thoughts in your mind, you trying to get out. You can't think like that. You gotta be more open to getting those thoughts out, or it's gonna eat you up slowly, you know.
It is, man. You know what? Like I said, all this program and stuff they got going on, saying, you know, men aren't supposed to cry, you're supposed to man up and stuff like that. Like, we ain't got no feelings. You know? And it's crazy. That's why so many men, it's like today in this country, is suffering through it. And like you said before, it's like a lot of younger men and stuff, man, going through this. You know, a whole lot. They're taking their own lives and stuff, man, because nobody want to take the time to sit there and listen to them.
Yeah. They don't have nobody, no father figures, no men in their life, even women in their life they don't really trust. No girlfriend that they trust. It's like they ain't got nobody to talk to, and that stems from how they were raised, you know what I'm saying? And the lack of trust in people, you know? Exactly.
But yeah, man, I thank you for you know, taking my call, man. I wish you everything luck on your live streams and stuff, man. You know, you have a good one, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. Good luck to you on your content as well, bro.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it, Jay. All right, man.
Shout out to Cool Gent. He does videos, live streams as well. Calling in. Yeah, I think this is what I would like to see a lot of black people speak more about is mental illness, because it's affecting us in the worst way. When you have a young black children taking their lives, it's a problem. It's a problem. And there's this, you know, people just don't trust each other anymore. They don't. So they turn to self-hatred, and they turn to, you know, harming themselves. You know? And it shouldn't be like that. The young should be living happy lives, right? But they're not. And especially what I would like to know from the older generation, how do you feel about that? You know? Even though there's been a lot of tough times in this country, like seeing the young who are supposed to be in their prime years to be able to do whatever they want to do, and they still be unhappy. You know? That's you know, a question I have for a lot of the older generation, because I know it has to be disheartening for a lot of them, you know. It has to be disheartening. It has to be. Isaiah, he took his own life, made a video speaking to the fact. Again, I'm not going to play that video because I believe YouTube has been taking it down systematically. You know, But yeah, man, that's why I tell a lot of these guys on social media, man, when they're going off, going in on people in comment sections and, trolling, it's like YouTube is not therapy. And I've said this about, I've noticed that in content creating, it's become like therapy. Therapy is content creating for people. They don't want to go get the help. So they make videos and they just say some of the most outrageous things. And you can tell something is wrong with them. Something is wrong with them. They're using videos and they're using, commenting as therapeutic, And it shouldn't be that way because you'll never find any fulfillment. You'll never be whole. You'll still have a hole in your spirit, That's a good point, Jessica. We are very materialistic, absolutely. Young men are trying to outdress women, seem like, that's what I'm seeing with some of these guys, man. And it's crazy. They're very materialistic. They're into fashion. They're into looking a certain way, like their favorite celebrities. A lot of women as well, very materialistic. They try to dress like their favorite female celebrities, copy their look, go on vacations, try to live the same lifestyle, but they can't really keep up. And I think that affects them as well. But all of this ingenuity that we have these days, people still are unhappy. People are still unhappy. And that's the thing. We need to talk about mental illness. Does it take Kanye West for people to start talking about mental illness? It shouldn't. We should have already been talking about this, We should have been talking about this. Because it's becoming a problem. If somebody is as successful as him feels the need to take his own life, what does that say about other people who aren't as successful? These people in the comment section need therapy. I see some of my comments, man. I can tell that some of these people need therapy. I can tell. Like, YouTube is their therapy. Going and arguing with people every day is therapy. It's crazy. You can be speaking about something that's very positive, and you see people that all they want to do is argue. They don't want to talk about how to make things better. They don't want to talk about their experiences. They don't want to have a healthy debate. All they want to do is argue. All they want to do is cause mischief. And they think that is normal, but that is their way of being able to express themselves, because they can't express themselves at work. They can't express themselves in their relationships with family members, with friends, So they get on social media, and that's their way of becoming somebody different and expressing themselves that way. And I want y'all to understand that. You have a lot of people who are injured, and they're not seeking to better themselves. They're just seeking to make other people hurt. Like the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. Or they hurt themselves if they can't hurt anybody else. But social media has made things way worse. There have been people who have took their lives off of being trolled on social media, because they just couldn't take what people were saying to them, the feedback, and that is deeply distressing and troubling. The kids are not being protected anymore, so they feel like their only way out, because they're so young, is to take their own life. They have no love at home. They get no love outside of the home. They deal with people bullying them at school, making fun of them, and have to go home to a mother or a father who don't care. And that's where a lot of the younger generation, either the older, the millennials, and then you got the Generation Z, it really don't have anybody. They really don't have anybody. So they look for friends on social media. There are a lot of people right now who have more friends on social media than they do outside. I'm not talking about Facebook friends, okay? I'm talking about people who they can talk to on, social media every day. What's going on, Maria? I see you. Their only friends are the people that they talk to on social media. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
How you doing?
What's good, Albert?
Hey, yeah. So, first of all, rest in peace to Etika.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, like, I know, like, exactly, like, how what he was thinking, like, how this feels to be on the edge of like suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, like I'm 28, going on 29 in August.
Okay.
I started like getting those thoughts. I want to say like either 20 or 20. I think it was 20 years old.
Mm.
And like, man, like I think like where my mental state was at, because like when I was younger as a kid, like I used to like get bullied a lot from other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was kind of weird to the other kids because like some of them would like pick on me because like I wouldn't like wear the hottest shoes or the hottest clothes and
mm-hmm.
Just stuff like that. And I wasn't like a trendy kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that mental state of living that kind of childhood, like kind of like still stuck with me into
mm-hmm.
my adulthood, to like where I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
And when I at that time, like I was just thinking about like what they were like used to say to me, instead of like just trying to let that go. So
mm-hmm.
it was like, and then on top of that, like I had no like real direction in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have like a father in my life. It was just my mom and my two brothers and my sister. It was just the four of us and my mom. So, but anyway, yeah, I would, and I don't want y'all anyone to get worried about this, but I'm fine right now because like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything is good now. Do you have people that you can reach out to, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I had my brother, man, like he's not with us no more. He just passed a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But
that.
even though he was like younger than me, a year younger than me, like he was the one that grew up faster than all of us. And he was like the guy to like where I go to. Like he was like the most trusted person. Like I didn't have no friends. He was like my best friend. Because he was like always like the guy that like tell me how it is, and he was always lift me up whenever I feel down. My mom did some of that too, but there was a time when we got older and we moved, and I moved in with him for a while, and I guess he realized, I wasn't like the person I was supposed. Like he realized I wasn't like happy at times, but he was always there, just to lift me up. And like I would try like stuff like I would like try to scrape like a knife across my arm. I don't want y'all to I don't want anybody to get freaked out, but I'm okay. Yeah. But I would like try to scrape the knife across my arm at times when I was younger, and and before I tried to do the act, it was harder to do it because he was there in my mind, like, and then sometimes, like, and I still have, like, the problem of overthinking things,
Mm-hmm.
but it came in handy when I was about to act, because I was thinking about, like, the people I leave behind.
Yeah.
Like, my family, like, what would they think?
Mm-hmm.
How would they feel if I just was selfish enough and just, leave this world,
Mm-hmm.
And, I just felt like that it was my responsibility, just to keep live for them.
Right.
And then also, most importantly, live for myself and, try to, do things better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still trying right now, and, I'm still trying to, like, find my way. And, because I'm, I just say, like, listening to you and your videos,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm trying to slowly swallow the red pill. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
Well.
Yeah, so,
I would say
yeah,
this, man.
but,
You have a lot to live for because you were given a life for a purpose. There's a lot of people that aren't here anymore, and you should always feel grateful for that and not allow those demons to win, because at the end of the day, that is your past, and you cannot let your past defeat you.
yeah,
We all have
yeah.
issues, we all have thoughts, but it's best to live and have experiences, because those experiences will topple any of those thoughts that you have from your past. But it's good that it's good that your brother was there for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they to people that's going through the same way, it's like I know I'm sounding like I'm beating the dead horse because everybody said it, but
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to, like, have people who care about you deeply.
Yeah.
And care about how you feel in your life. Like, just you know talk to them. And sometimes church is probably not enough for some people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a believer in God, but sometimes that might not be enough. You still probably should have to, like, talk to, like, somebody.
Yeah.
Just talk to somebody that cares for you. So that's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I appreciate the call, Albert, and continue to grow and get better, man. You're here for a purpose, man. Understand that, all right?
All right. Thanks.
All right. Shout out to Albert. I appreciate that call, man. I appreciate him being real and forthcoming about his things that he's been through. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who can attest to what he was saying. There's a lot of young men out here who are going through a lot, man. But you have a life to live. You got to live it. You only have so much time here. You don't shorten it, because you're here, you're healthy. You can't change the past, but what you can do is make your future better. That's what you can definitely do, Make sure y'all like the stream, man. We've had some very good calls, man. I like when y'all call my show and can speak your truth. I appreciate that the most. Sometimes we only hear our own voices at the worst time, Because, see, I overthink a lot. I'm an overthinker. I always think and analyze certain situations, I have thoughts of the worst parts of growing up. I've dealt with issues in school. I've moved around a lot. So I was always the new guy. I was always on the outside at times, It took a while for people to, I wouldn't say accept me, but to understand me. But I was always a lone ranger, I got used to it. I got used to always being, it just being me, in different places, different neighborhoods. You got people out there who are hurt and they will try to hurt other people, especially young kids kids hurt kids like to bully other kids because they have to go home to an abusive household. So they put that pain off on other people. That's their only way to express it. Yeah, Medley, we've had some very good calls here. There's nothing but positivity. I see you, Wayne. That's why I tell people my call in is for everyone. Whether we agree or we don't agree. Yeah, man, I went to a lot of schools. I don't say a lot of high schools. I only went to 2 different high schools, but man, I moved around. It was a couple years where I moved around a lot. And you just got to deal with different people, and you have to learn how to deal with people. And this you have life to live. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a purpose. And live that purpose. Alan, you can call back in now, but I mean, you gotta make it quick, okay? Because I'm about to shut the phone lines down. I don't want this stream to be too long. Gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Listen, if you don't know what happened to him, why are you here? You're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Out to the viewers and anybody that happens to be suffering from depression, because I happen to be diagnosed with childhood schizophrenia and depression. And one thing I'll say is it will get better, no matter if it's people online that are there for you. It's a problem on social media, it's a problem in real life, because I'm still young. I'm only 13.
Okay.
And it's pretty hard, because I try my best to help other people with depression.
Okay.
Because the thing is, it may not seem like it will get better, but if you keep looking up at other people and seeing how you can help them, then you can help other people.
Right.
You can help them find happiness too. And while helping them, you'll be able to find happiness in yourself.
Yes.
Because that's something that a lot of people have a really hard time finding. Because when I first made my social media account when I was fairly young, it was my first account Rally. So I made a lot of friends, but a lot of the people I did end up meeting, they led me on to things such as depression, or just so happens, self-harm. And that's a big issue among nowadays, because younger kids are getting, shown these type of things,
Yeah, and that's why it's important to have positive, good people around you, like you seem to have, which is good, right?
Yeah, because as the other caller was talking about, I had my 3 brothers. Recently, my oldest brother recently passed away. I've been taking it pretty harshly, but he's the one that gave me happiness. And as this is probably something people hear every day, but no matter what, they don't want to see you happy. I messed that up. They don't want to see you upset. They're looking down. They know they want you to be happy. They want you to find happiness. no matter what happens in life.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I appreciate you calling in. I'm getting some more of these callers, all right? But I really like your call and your positivity. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna
All right.
go back to watching the stream.
Okay. Cool. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Okay.
Yeah. See ya.
All right. Shout out to the caller, young caller calling in. It's a very good call, man. Yeah, you do definitely need good people who you can go to and talk to and really be able to learn from, man. You do need that. We all need that. I told y'all, people are getting more lonely every single day. And it's because we don't trust anybody. We only trust what we see and what we're around, the environment. I'd rather that was a good call. It was a good call. Yeah, calling any show is gonna people be nervous, you know. Yeah, I have a lot of young teenagers that watch my show, and listen to my videos, you know. Maybe I get one more call. We'll wrap it up. You call in real quick. But this has been very good dialogue. Very good dialogue. I think we've been able to get different spectrums of the conversation. I want you to understand, no matter who I talk about or discuss, there's always a bigger issue that I like to speak on. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
I listened to a couple of the calls and it just inspired me to call again and just tell a little bit. I'm gonna keep it real brief.
Okay.
I think that I went through a thing a little bit back when I dealt with some real crazy baby mama drama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't seeing my son and all this and that, and I think that a lot of men, even though that was a real tough time, I think a lot of men need a goal. Like, they need to establish goals in their life. Also, to keep them on a track where they feel like I have to accomplish something. So they feel that burden of, like, thinking about suicide actually diminishes, because when I was going to baby mama dream, the only thing I could think about was seeing my son. I said, and I told I want my baby mom to tell my son my story, like, especially all the things we was going through at the time. And I'm just like, no, I gotta fight for my son. And then over the course of time, I just gave myself hope. I leaned into my faith and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to get religious because I know it's a lot of people who aren't really religious.
Mm-hmm.
But I leaned on my faith and I leaned on friends, people help me through the situation. And I just think black males really need to find a mentor and establish goals and get outside. Like, I think black men, a lot of times people just go in the house, watch TV, get on YouTube. No, sometimes it takes you to go outside, talk to that fine shorty you saw walking down the street that you see every so often. Sometimes it just takes that. And once men start to really get that, we live in a society where you kind of got to hermit yourself because they got the whole Me Too thing going on. They they really tearing people, but men. I'm not even going to just justify black men. It's just men. They tear men backs out for no reason. Anything is a sexual assault now. But I think people just have to get out, get positive energy, get fresh air in you, and things of that nature. If you really don't have those outlets, the only thing you can do is dwell in your thoughts, and that's the last thing you want to do if you're suicidal. To the brother who called, who talked about his story, you don't want to dwell in your thoughts like that. You know, go out, have a good time. Life is good. Like even though it's hard at times, life is good, especially being a black man, because you got so much to prove. When you prove it, like, who can really front on you? And after establishing those thoughts in my head, it just made my life 10,000 times better. Like, I breathe with confidence now. You know what I'm saying? I've been going to the gym. I do it like my life has purpose. As a black man, my life has purpose for my son, and I just think a lot of black men need that.
Yeah, they do, and but I think we need to also, be more defined in ourselves and not try to live by other people's standards as well, and just
that's absolutely true. Yeah, we, like you said, we all got our own. We all got our own path. We all got our own thing that we need to establish. And I think once you figure that out and you learn yourself as a man, those thoughts, like, they diminish and they're non-existent. So, I mean, that's all I wanted to say, man. Thanks for taking my call again.
Okay, cool. Well,
I'm up here cooking dinner. I'm about to.
That what you're doing there? You multitasking.
What's that?
I said you multitasking.
Yes, man. It's hot in here, but I'm gonna get it done.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate the calls, man.
Thanks for taking my call again, man.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, have a good one, man.
Oh, you too.
All right.
Shout out to him. Caller again, calling in. I think that's it for the calls right now. Again, I don't want this to get too long. But yeah, man. Like I've said in previous live streams and previous videos, man, work on yourself, make yourself happy. You can only make yourself happy. We can't live by everybody else's rules and stuff. Like, we do what you want to do. When you wake up every day, do what you want to do. Nobody controls your happiness and what you want to do. Find that love within yourself. That's all. That's all you can really do at the end. And also this, we're all flawed people. You gotta understand that too. We're all flawed people that have had bad experiences. Don't let those bad experiences control you for the rest of your life. Yes, we have thoughts. We think about certain things that have happened to us, but we also have a future. And we don't need to shorten our lives and ruin what was put in front of us to have, And I think especially in the black community, this problem is running rampant. There's a lot of mental illness that is undiagnosed. And there are people who are living basically fighting battles within themselves every single day. And they're able to put on a brave face at work. They're able to put on a brave face when they come on social media, but they're constantly fighting a battle of who they are and of how they view themselves. But that's it, fam. I appreciate everybody for calling in. Thanks to all the callers. Y'all did a really good job. Make sure y'all follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to keep up with me. The links are in the description box. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channels. If there's any other topics, any emails you just want to send me, the email is in the description as well. And I will see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all have a good night. And until the next one, all right?